take your knife out and just, this ain't in my history book, sis. The fake ginger cha-cha, the Three Stooges. Season 2, let's discuss. We pick up right where we left off with Five and the team holding on to him as they try to delay the apocalypse by going back into time. Now with time travel, it never goes according to plan, obviously, and the Umbrella Academy gets plopped, trapped, what have you, into different years, months into the 1960s. We get to experience the Jim Crow South. So America's just this big fun ball of nonsense. But we see Five travel to the 1963 apocalypse caused by none other than it's Vanya 2.0. And he's like, I thought there was only one apocalypse. This ain't in my history book, sis. Like, Vanya don't remember jack jiddly sit, bits. Vanya's useless to me up until the moment that she gets her memories back. And that's not until like the end of the season. So she was hit by a car, and then next thing you know, she's living in a house. And I was like, hold up, I'm not going anywhere with some stranger that hit me with their car. I don't know you, you don't know me. Take me to the hospital and we can discuss insurance. That's it. But taking me to your house? Vanya is stuck in buttfuck nowhere, Dallas, Texas. And she's been spending some quality time with Harlan and Sissy. Did not know that was her name until literally the ending of this season. I was like, oh, that's her name? I thought they were calling Vanya Sissy. We allude later on about this lesbian affair. And I'm like, hold up, do I really want to call it that? Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Oh no, they were having an affair, all right. We finally get this meetup with Vanya and Luther, and I'm like, okay, does Vanya remember? Because at the time, we didn't know if she knew or not, but she genuinely didn't. So when she sees him, she's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, what's poppin'? And Luther had a gun behind his back. I said, sir, are we killing her or are we defending ourselves? I'm confused. Luckily, it was only for defense measures. He didn't even try to do it. And he gets a closure with her with like, I'm sorry what I did to you, yada, yada, yada. But it didn't feel like proper closure because she didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then his heart wasn't in the right place. He did it more for him, but not for her. He only did it so he could feel good about himself, not so they could repair their brotherly sister bond that never existed to begin with. So maybe we can see some bonding develop in season 3. It feels like a family. It feels like a very dysfunctional family, and I appreciate it. But I want it to feel like a functional family that's dysfunctional. Klaus and Ben had to deal with being trapped in the 1960s for 3 years. And of course, in Klaus fashion, his personality, I expected nothing less. He started a cult. But just because you're my favorite character does not dismiss you from when you're being a dick. I get to call you out on your bullshit. Therefore, Klaus is being a dick at the beginning of this season, and I was not here for it. I was very upset because he was hurting my other baby Ben. It's 2019 for them. They know the rules of time travel, so why are we like pretending we don't know our actions have consequences in the past that might have a ripple effect in the future and might cause things to happen that didn't actually happen? Get with the program. So Klaus was telling people in his cult lyrics from like TLC and 90s bops. And I was like, Klaus, you can't do this. Like, I honestly feel like Five and Luther were the only ones that followed like time travel protocol whatsoever. Klaus got money. He has a mansion. Everything Klaus could ever want or need, the cult gives it to him. And I'm like, hold up, Klaus got a house? Also, he's been 3 years sober. Back in season 1, Klaus had met Dave in 1968. He's in 1963. Meaning, he had to endure knowing that Dave was literally 30 miles away from him and he couldn't see him. Oh, no. That doesn't stop him. He goes and sees Dave and he's like, Davey boy, we were together in 1968 and you died. So I'm just like, hold up. Needless to say, Klaus's savior complex is only for his self-interest, whereas Diego's savior complex is to save for the greater good. Allison gets trapped in 1961 without her voice box or her vocal cords being able, like, nothing. She can't speak, can't use her powers, nada, zilch. So add that on top of being trapped into the Jim Crow South, being an African-American woman, I could not. I don't know how she did it, and I wish we had seen more of the struggle that the Jim Crow South was in the 1960s. I feel like we only got sprinkles when I wanted the eggs, the flour, the vanilla. I wanted the whole cake. I wanted to see the struggle between Allison. And that's one thing that I need to remember with the show. We're not getting character development, we're getting plot development. When I saw Allison and her boo all up on each other, I said, but what about Claire? But what about Luther? Because all of season 1, I just want to get back to Claire. I miss Claire. Claire only becomes a convenient motivator when it's time to GTFO. And I don't like that. That's your daughter. Act accordingly. Allison and her marriage. So I really want to know, did she really love Raymond? Or did she like the idea of being politically protected and socially protected by someone with clout in the community in Dallas, in the Jim Crow South? Because let's be honest, she's not dumb. She's from 2019. She knows. You should know political activist rights leaders aside from MLK and Malcolm X and Rosa Parks. You should know. So Raymond, obviously, I feel like she knew and said, oh, I'm gonna get on that and be protected. Luther gets stuck for 1.5 years in 1961. Oh wait, I lied. Luther was stuck in 1962. My bad. I felt his pain, but I wanted to see his pain, you know what I'm saying? Without your family, like you just got your brother back. Your dad had passed away, even though daddy issues. Luther, honey, are you okay? Do you want a hug? Come on, honey, come on. Luther really says, I don't give a shit. Number 1 of the Umbrella Academy does not give a shit. His soul was literally crushed. And I was like, okay, are we gonna break him down to build him back up? Because, okay, that's a character arc I can get by. Redemption Tour 2020, let's go. I didn't get that. Instead, he does his own thing. He just wants a purpose. That's it. That's the tweet. And I'm like, okay, if I was giving you a purpose, but you said bye and I don't give a shit, so you're boo-boo the fool. And I hate that we're dismissing 5 every time he says the apocalypse. You would think you would listen to your brother who has been missing for 15 years and appears out of the sky from time traveling back into the present. Luther's now a boxer. And there was a scene that was like, wait, is this Sherlock Holmes? Because if it gave me Sherlock Holmes vibes. The only thing I'm giving costume design props for is Luther. That's it. 5 is stuck in his uniform and I'm just like, get this boy some clothes. It's not rocket science. Allison, her wig, won't it? I didn't. And then Diego's hair. Antonio, Diego, psych ward, breakout baby, contours his body and just dips. And then of course, we see a new character, Lila. And 5 is very aware of Lila. 5 is like, oh, you nasty. Okay, so if we're gonna for me, it was a setup of like, okay, she's crazy because we're in a psych ward. That was my initial thought process. But then I'm like, hold up, she seems a little too lucid and a little too like aware what's happening. And come to find out, the handler is her mother. Episode 4, we get this opening of the handler killing a couple. And we see that she meets this child who we now know is Lila. And the handler never told her that, hey, I killed your mom and dad, because why would you do that? That's psychotic. Lila's led to believe that 5 killed her parents. So then Lila's led to go on this revenge tour. She wants to go kill 5, kill the Umbrella Academy, and just blow that bitch up, make his pockets hurt. I was ready for her to die. I was ready for 5 to hand her ass on a silver platter times 10. But no, we come to find out, homegirl got powers. Lila's one of the 42 kids that were born on October 1st. Vanya and Allison have a new sister now. I don't trust Lila. You don't just flip the switch and say, oh, I want to kill 5 and oh, we're brother and sister, let's love each other. That's a hard switch to flip. You feel me? So I'm waiting for bonding, and I want it to feel like a very functional but dysfunctional family. So hopefully in season 3 we can get some bonding time. This season, though, I will say the screen time between characters that we did not see in season 1 that we see in season 2, I really appreciate. Diego and 5. Diego's savior complex really helps with 5's need to like get the 5 back home, because all 5 really wants to do is get back home and live happily ever after. With the handler and her scenes, I felt like we were trying to be quirky and camp. I feel like since she doesn't get more screen time with the cast of, or with the main characters at least, we're accepting the cringe, but it was like over the top cringe and camp and quirky when it could have been brought down like 3 notches. You feel me? And the thing about the handler is we were giving her a plot. So they demote her and she's like, woe is me, I hate my life, but I'm gonna get back at him. So what does she do to get back at him? She devises a plot to kill the 12 board members of the commission. And who does she hire to do it? 5. The handler 2 times 5 by saying, hey, if you kill the board, I will get you your family back to 2019. The handler says, ha, gotcha, sis, and basically says, oh yeah, you're all wanted by the commission for killing the board members because she can't have any loose ends. You feel me? I like a woman who cleans up after her mess. Respect it. She brings the entire commission, and she wants the commission to kill off the entire Umbrella Academy before they can double cross her. 5 is the only one who had to experience time travel by himself up until now. The Umbrella Academy characters, this was their first time experiencing what 5 got to experience, but at least with the Umbrella Academy, save for 5, they had human interaction. 5 had Dolores, and that was it. With the Sweden Three Musketeers, Three Stooges, what have you, then the handler, I was like, wait, they all have white hair. Is this a connection? And I honestly think the more higher connections you have, the whiter your hair gets, or it's just like a symbol of like clout. But I could be wrong, but I feel like there's a connection there, and hopefully it gets cleared up in season 3 about like plot, because everything is about plot right now. We're not worried about characters because things are developing into something big. Like there was this one scene with Reginald, and he gets very upset that they went on and killed JFK without his consent, because consent matters. So then you see this weird scene where he takes off his mask, his face, and he turns into this weird alien and just slaughters the board members. And I was like, are we gonna address this, or are we just gonna let it be? Let it be, let it be. It was a hit it and quit it kind of moment, and I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, okay, questions and I need answers. And I'm probably not gonna get those answers till season 3. Season 2, I was expecting a lot of things that didn't happen. I was expecting things to make more sense with like how Reginald knows about the 7 kids and how he knows about powers and the apocalypse from season 1, but we didn't get those questions. So I'm waiting for things to link back up. However, I have questions and I want answers. We have this thickening plot of we need to talk to Dad. He knows what's good, what's popping. He could give 2 shits about them brats. He was like, you're not my child. And he disrespected the fuck out of Luther. Oh my God. I'm gonna insert the scene here. If a family member comes at me that way, I will mention all your dirty laundry. And then we finally link up at a party. Grace is a real person, and I was like, hold up. I thought she was just a figment of his imagination. But no, Grace, aka Mom, was a love interest of Reginald, and Diego is the cause of their, like, detanglement. I had to remember that in season 1, Vanya and Diego have a conversation of, I always wonder, is it really Mom talking? Or is it Reginald's thoughts that he puts into Mom that projects self-love or just love in general to the kids from like his love with her because he can't love again because he's a dick? But I'm also like, what do you know that we don't know? Because I have so many questions that I need answers to. Season 3, please come. Big facts were made. Points were made. I don't have any predictions for season 3 because it really leaves you on your toes with the ending. The way that they leave season 2 off, they go back to their timeline in 2019 because they killed a handler, and they get a briefcase, and they go back to 2019. But the Umbrella Academy is no more. It's called the Sparrow Academy because they left some trails back in 1963 which caused Sparrow instead of Umbrella. So now they have to go back to fix what they fucked up. I don't know. I don't. Overall, I give this scene a minus. I liked what I saw. There was cinematography, loved it. Music selection, loved it. Plot, loved it. Character development could have been better. It's not what I'm used to. I'm used to reading books. I'm used to reading what happens instead of seeing what happens in those results and like the gradual like character arc. And I just want a big character arc. If not for individuals, for the family. Because we've just been working so hard together. We gotta have some bonding going on, you feel me? I hope you like this video. It's gonna take me forever to edit. It's an hour and 6 minutes long, Jesus Christ. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about what you think is gonna happen in season 3. And let's discuss in the comments, what did you think of season 2? I really liked it. It blew season 1 out of the park. It was phenomenal, fantastic. Chef's kisses. I expected better slot. And like, if you can top your song selection from each season, I have nothing but love for you. If you can make me sit up in my bed at 11 o'clock at night watching the season finale, you've done your job. One thing to remember when doing like sci-fi and fantasy and dystopian, you have to make the rules of the universe. And these rules of the universe are different than what I'm used to.